Joining me now is Todd, moderator of Meet the Press. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Christy.
Former President Trump is predicting he'll be arrested this week, and he's calling for protests, and some Republicans are rallying around him. He is also still facing legal issues here in Georgia. So what do you make of that? And Senator Lindsey Graham's recent quote that, quote, the prosecutor in New York has done more to help Donald Trump get elected than any single person in America today.
Well, I understand why he's saying that, because the flimsiest case that faces the former president is what the Manhattan DA is trying to put together. You know, what he's trying to prosecute Donald Trump for, the feds decided not to pursue, even though the feds, Trump-appointed federal prosecutors, mind you, put Michael Cohen in prison for this issue. At the time, because he was sitting president, they couldn't pursue the president, but after the fact, they decided not to pursue this investigation. The Manhattan DA is trying to see what New York crimes were broken by him by this same allegation. But here's what the former president believes. And I say this not as speculation, but this is reporting. He thinks that because this case is about an affair and hush money and something that happened 2 presidential campaigns ago, that in some ways, if he can focus everybody's attention, and that's what he was trying to do yesterday, hijack the media narrative to focus on this, because he doesn't want as much attention paid to Georgia and Washington, the 2 investigations that are much more serious and could end up truly, I think, ending his political career. And so he believes if he stirs the pot on the flimsiest case, that it will make the other 2 cases look weaker in the public's eyes. And politically, he'll be able to use this as a way to at least shield himself from this being a problem for him getting the Republican nomination. I still think this is a massive problem for him in a general election. But he's trying to essentially stop the bleeding inside the Republican primary.
2 of your guests today are senators on the banking committee in the wake of the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. What moves do you think Congress will make when it comes to banking executives and banking reform?
Well, look, I do think that there is a bipartisan populist outrage at what happened here. So what do I think Congress can agree on? Clawing back bonuses for bankers. I think that will be something that will have some bipartisan support. So I think you will see that. I don't know if you will see, though, an attempt to put back the regulation that was repealed in 2018 that Elizabeth Warren, who's on my show today, believes helped trigger this crisis, because the medium-sized banks did not want to be held to the same standards that the big banks were. They argued they were not a systemic risk. We learned this week that wasn't true. And so I don't know whether they repeal that. I do think there will be efforts to claw back that on executive pay. And perhaps President Biden has called for making a bank failure potentially a criminal violation by a banker if they really did mismanage the bank with only profit in mind. So I don't know if that's a bill that can pass, but clawing back bonuses, I think it is.
All right, Chuck, thanks so much.